Ճանաչեց իմաստություն եւ զղրատ իմանալ զբանը սանջարը. An ancient Armenian phrase meaning to know words of wisdom and insight, to understand the words of power. This phrase has been written centuries ago, but it means something timeless. The hunger to understand, to grow, and to move forward. And that is the story of my country. And this is my story. When we look at the earliest map, the Babylonian map of the world, we can see something fascinating. In the middle, there is Babylon, surrounded by civilizations. To the north, into the mountains, there is a country called Urartu, ancient Armenia. It is often cited as the only entity with a direct modern successor. Empires collapsed, world powers disappeared, borders shifted, but Armenia remained. Not unchanged, nowhere close to untouched, but in motion. Armenia was the first country to accept Christianity as an official state religion in 301 AD, decades before Roman Empire. The decision wasn't just religious, it was civilizational. And Christianity became the spine of Armenian identity. And when you're a small nation surrounded by empires, identity becomes a survival. In 405, Mesrop Mashtots created Armenian alphabet. Not borrowed, not adapted, but newly created. Why? Because language preserves existence. Armenian language, Hairan, is a language that survived empires, a language that survived genocide, a language that survived silence. But survival was never easy. In 5th century, Armenia was divided between Byzantine and Persian empires. 1915, during Armenian genocide, Armenians were systematically expelled from their ancestral homeland, Western Armenia. December 20th, 1920. Soviet army invaded, and Armenia became a part of Soviet Union until 1991. For 70 years, Armenia modernized, technologized, and all by enduring repression. Then independence was restored. Yet war did not disappear. The black line in Armenia's fate remained. The conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia over Nagorno-Karabakh, Artsakh, shaped my generation. For decades after USSR, both countries claimed that region, even though it has been historically populated by Armenians. The conflict led to wars, fragile ceasefires, and unsettling feeling in people living there. In 2023, 10 months after blockade, Armenians were forcibly displaced from their homes once again. The first city that they arrived to was my hometown, Goris. The volunteers that helped them were just from 13 to 18 years old. I was 15. We helped organize aid, welcome families, and just be there after everything they had gone through. The one thing that I remember the most was silence. Children, parents, grandparents were so overwhelmed by what happened to them that they could barely speak. The war has not only taken their homes, but also their sense of safety. So when you experience this in such a young age, you start questioning difficult things about the future, about hope, about whether or not dreams can survive in a place shaped by conflict. And my answer is, dreams are not destination. They're a form of motion. Dreaming is not a luxury, it's a survival mechanism. To stop dreaming, to stop imagining a tomorrow, is to let a fire that has been burning for ages die. And we're not going to be the ones who do. All this unfortunate turn of events gave birth to a fierce resilience in the new generation. I didn't understand it at the time, but I was approaching my own life with that mindset. I understood that dreams and opportunities are not just simply given, they're pursued. So when I found out about exchange year programs, I applied. First try, rejected. Second try, rejected. And this is where most stories would stop. But dreams are not about absence of obstacles. But as you can see, I'm here. So I applied the third time, and I got in. Students like me don't leave their homes to escape it. We live to understand it. When you explain your country to people who have never heard of it before, you rediscover it. You rediscover yourself without the friends that you've had since childhood, without your safe place, comfort zone, and you try to find new ones. Exchange year is not about academics. Academics are the least that I've gained here. It teaches you empathy, confidence, adaptability. It teaches you that identity is not a cage, it's a foundation. And your background should not limit your dreams. If Armenia has taught me anything, is that small does not mean insignificant. History does not mean stuck. Pain does not mean powerless. So if a country can survive empires, genocides, wars, division, a student can survive a rejection. As we are all descendants of survivors, of creators, of rebuilders, of strong leaders. Dreams are not static. They move across borders, across languages, across generations. From clay tablets to modern world classrooms. From a girl hopelessly applying for the third time to a voice standing here today. And if history has taught us anything, is that dreams that keep moving eventually change the world.